back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. Today we are really talking about life lessons. So I want to know, is there anyone else out there that is like me, who a part of you finding happiness, being able to thrive, being able to be better, 1% better, a better version of yourself in the future, is really reflecting and looking back at your history, is really reflecting and looking back at the year before, or even 5-10 years before? Anyone out there? Okay, great. This video is for you then. In this video, we are going to be talking about a few life lessons that I learned, some that I want to share with you and prompt you to reflect and consider in your life. And then the next few videos, we are going to be talking about life lessons. So before we get started, I want to know from you, what are those life lessons? What did you learn in 2020 that you need to take forward with you to be a better version of yourself in 2021? Stick with me, let me share a couple with you tonight, and let's get started. So the first hard lesson that I learned in 2020 is change is the only constant. I have heard that concept before. I have been told by mentors, my parents, coaches, change is the only constant. But until you really go through it, you really aren't believing that feedback. There are so many ways that I have learned this last year, but one that I will never forget is my wedding. Y'all, I was supposed to be a 2020 bride. It was up, like I was ready to be the missus, to be the wifey in 2020. And COVID said, nah, we're not doing that. I'm gonna change that on you and you're gonna have to learn how to shift. Now I know if you are not engaged, if you are not a planner for events or weddings, this might not relate to you, but my brides, my postponement brides, if y'all are listening and watching this, I feel you, okay? Making that call to change an entire event that we have poured in financially, energy, time, all of the things to try to pull off our dream wedding, it was devastating in my mind. Okay, not really devastating. In my mind, it was devastating, the fact to postpone that till the next year. For us, we've been engaged for 2.5 years. We were ready. We had the most beautiful date, 10/10/2020. We were ready to celebrate that. Change is always going to happen. No matter what my plan is, I need to be okay with being flexible, adjusting, adapting, moving, being able to shift with life. It was so much easier. Literally, the minute we postponed our date, the next day, I could breathe. I could take a deep breath and realize, okay, I have 6 more months to get where I want to get to. I can plan ahead. But getting to that point of making that transition was very hard. And that's just one example of how I learned that. And I bet you can think of so many other ways that you learn that change is your only constant. So tell me in the comments below, what was that event? What happened last year that really reminded you change is your only constant? If you haven't learned that yet, I'm here to tell you that is real. Take it from someone who avoided and ignored all of the tips that I have been told my entire life by mentors and apply this one. If you can adjust, if you can be flexible, if you can move within the world of so much change, I promise you, life is going to be easier. Your mentality, your mindset approaching life will be able to endure difficulty much more easier. And difficulty is a part of life. It makes the highs, the lows. That is a part of the experience that we're going to have. So I encourage you to learn this lesson. If you already have it nailed, awesome. Tell me who you are because I need to follow you. And if you haven't, take my example, take my mess and use it for the good of your experience. And I hope that you can learn a lot quicker than I did that change is the only constant. Okay, so the next life lesson that I learned through a lot of complaining, a lot of mess, a lot of negative attitude was gratitude. and to really remember to count my blessings. But that gratitude is the best attitude that I can have during difficult times. I gotta be honest, I was really bad at this last year. I saw all the bad, all the heartache, all the pain before I saw anything to be grateful for. And reflecting back, that is a life lesson that I learned last year that I never want to forget ever again. According to an article in Forbes, 22 million Americans experienced how it feels to be laid off due to the pandemic. It really put things into perspective. It really reminded me that although I am stressed, although I am struggling, although I am going on an emotional roller coaster in my current line of work, I still have something to be grateful for. I still have the opportunity to have stable income that I can rely on. That is something to be grateful for. Another lesson learned that I want to pass on is the concept of the both and. Now, I didn't really realize what this was a couple years ago, and I really was tested in learning this lesson last year. The both and concept is really having more of an open mind to you experiencing multiple emotions and feelings at the same time. And the reality is that is likely how life is. It is more of experiencing, going through, feeling different things all at once that sometimes feel overwhelming. You can be grateful and upset with your current circumstances at the same time. You can be both grateful for your current job and depleted by your current job. That's also the beauty of being able to experience multiple things at one time. How boring my life would be if I felt one emotion at one time, it had to stop, and then I changed over to a different emotion. I don't know if I really would want that. So maybe these life lessons, I only learned them. I don't know. Tell me in the comments below, did you learn these life lessons? Am I alone out here? I hope I am not. And I also know if I am alone, I hope you listen and I hope you take these and use them. If they apply, if they can be something that you want to attempt to learn or to practice in your day-to-day life, here you go. I really want to try to use my mess as my message to help others not have to go through it, not have to go through the pain points and the struggles and the mistakes that I've gone through to get those life nuggets. I love reflection time. I love looking back at past years, months, days, and really finding that life nugget, that fruit, that experience that is really going to help me become a better version of myself. And to me, that is what I'm trying to do with 2020. Now, I know 2020 was probably one of the worst years yet for a lot of us. However, now that we are out of it, I think it's a perfect time to reflect and look back on the lessons that we learned to help us propel forward. I want to know, what life lessons have you learned so far? What are those lessons that you want to take with you moving forward? I hope I'm not alone in this world and learning these lessons, but if I am, I encourage you to take these. Take these are for you. I want you to learn these. I want you to learn these sooner than I did. This is all about using my mess as my message to help the next person. To help the next person gain some perspective, gain some life nuggets that will really benefit you learning these earlier and applying them to your life. I can't wait to continue giving you these life lessons over the next several weeks. Comment below if you found value in this video. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. And again, don't forget to subscribe. We're gonna be here 2 times a week, building this community, using our mess as our message, and I can't wait to connect with you. I'll see you next time.